Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black Tower Podcast, a Wheel of Time podcast. It's really good to see you here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm your Bajan Mahel, as you can see down below there, or if you can't
Right
see, that's
there.
what it
That's
says. It
what
says
it says
Andrew.
right there.
Andrew, that's my name, and then a little vertical line, a little tick, and then Bajan Mahel.
Chick of the noon and the chick of the noon and the.
Yeah.
I love it. And
Who are
I'm
you?
Josh,
Who are you?
as it says right here. Josh with the do and it's sort of on my hell. And you have to say it like that.
We have a mysterious heyo. Let's say
Heyo!
heyo.
My guess is that's going to be he who comes with the wine, and he's in the wrong
Either
account.
that or smack. One of the two. Probably wine. Probably wine.
Welcome to another weekly dose of taint.
Welcome to another today, Junior.
I'm gonna get it out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a nice conversation. And I'm going to live up to the compliment that Daniel B. Green gave us. And I'm not gonna fumble all over my words tonight. We're not doing that.
So what you need to do is if you get something like Sure Smile or Invisalign, you have an excuse.
Welcome
the real
to
reason
the
I
Black
got
Tower, guys. I'm so excited to have you here tonight.
We're going to talk about the pattern.
The pattern.
The pattern.
The pattern.
The pattern. Anyway, today is going to be another fantastically great episode, and I'm only half saying that because it's our show, and I think all of our episodes, well, most of our episodes are great. But
there it
if
is.
you
Who called
are
it?
catching this when it goes public, and you want to be able to listen live or watch live as we're recording, so you can catch all the juicy bits that maybe we do or don't cut out. You don't know, because if you're not listening live, how would you know? You can go on over to blacktowerpod.com. There's a button for Patreon where you can get right onto our Patreon and you can check out all the fun stuff we have to offer. We send out stickers to soldier tier and above every 2 months. There's coins you can get, the challenge coins. We have the dragon and sword coins inspired both by the dragon and sword pins from the book series and challenge coins from the military. A whole bunch of other stuff. Generally, we do like pre-recordings where we just talk about sometimes Wheel of Time stuff, sometimes what's going on in our lives, all that kind of stuff. And we post that, and only patrons ever get to see that kind of fun stuff. And then a lot of times when we finish recording an episode, we'll hop on over into the patron section of our Discord and hang out and chat there for really sometimes it's been hours. Just depending on what's going on. So if that sounds interesting to you or want to check it out and see if it's worth your while, go on over, again, blacktowerpod.com, click the Patreon link, and it goes a long way to help support what we do here. And everything that comes into the Patreon goes right back into the podcast.
That is true.
So, yeah. One way or another, it goes back into the podcast.
Sir, I appreciate the true words coming forth from thy lips.
Yeah, I'm a truth speaker. You didn't know that, did you?
I didn't. I do now, though.
Yeah.
I do now, though.
Yeah. 14th truth speaker to the half empress. You never know what kind of sword you're gonna pull out.
That's what she said. Yeah. Well, tonight we got a really fun episode for y'all, but we decided that this topic was just too much for the two of us.
Just like the horizontal mumbo, it's not as much fun if you do it alone.
It's true. And we needed to call in the spiritual, physical, and mental acumen of a man who is so brilliant. The sun appears as a 15-watt bulb. And that's just how it is. I don't make the rules. That's how it is. Andrew, you want to go ahead and bring him on in? There he is. Look at that. breaking hearts and cameras everywhere. This motherfucker.
Hey, we had hit 20 minutes. YouTube's going to be mad. They're going to take away all the money we
damn it.
don't make.
First of all, thank you for welcoming me. And
You're very welcome.
And I'm only that bright because I don't have any hair, and the sun shines off my dome.
Send in the
This is
Marine.
extra. It's extra funny considering. So yesterday I went on Dragon Mount and did the rewatch party for season 2, episode 1, and I don't pay to get rid of ads on Amazon. And every ad break I had, there was at least one Marine Corps recruiting commercial in every single ad break.
The few, the proud, the suckers, the Marines.
The few, the proud, the Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's what it is. And
Man.
it's befitting that we're talking about dark hounds because I am a devil dog.
Hey.
So and as it was put so plainly in the chat, yut.
What is going on?
Oh.
You're welcome.
My computer.
Well, Tavern, since you're here with us, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody all of the fantastically fun things you do. You do a lot of different things in the Wheel of Time content creator community sphere.
A couple of things.
Couple of things.
Let's see. One, and first and foremost, I am annoying. As all hell. That's my primary rule, is to annoy the shit out of people. No, I create merch. So I design merch and stuff because the Wheel of Time doesn't provide for us.
Does not.
And the stuff that they
through you.
I guess.
Weaves as it wills through you.
I try. So I do that.
Amazon might be a different story.
Yeah, Amazon does not provide, but the pattern.
Amazon does not provide.
No. I'm also a co-host on the Wheel and Chill Show. I, along with Critter and Winespring. What else do I do? Oh, I play D&D online with a lot of Watt folks. Sometimes I meme. And a lot of times I'm So there you go.
It.
It's impressive considering that the Mumfest happens here in North Carolina, up in New Bern. Maybe there's another Mumfest somewhere else.
A what fest?
Mumfest.
The hell's a Mumfest?
The flower? It's a flower.
Like chrysanthemum?
Is it
like maybe part of it? I don't know.
Okay.
It's the one that everybody wears to homecoming.
Bro, trust me, I don't go to the festival for the flower.
Hold on.
Not that flower.
Well,
not the other flower, because that's not allowed here. But though it's funny, I'm pretty sure that the gas station right up the street from me is now blacklisted by Cherry Point, the base I work on, because they sell the Delta 9 gummies.
Nice.
Which, for those of you that don't know, the Delta 9 version of the THC-esque compound is itself legal. It's the Delta 8 version that is illegal, I believe. But the metabolites, which is what the drug test actually tests for, they both create the same exact metabolites in your body. So even if you had the Delta 9 variant and then the military goes, hey, we're going to have a guy watch you pee in a cup, you're going to pop positive.
Yeah.
And the military is not going to accept the baggie that says Delta 9 as proof that you did not indeed partake of the devil's lettuce. So, in short, you're screwed.
I loved a few years back where people
I was right.
Don't eat the kind bars because the kind bars were popping. Like there was a line of bars that were like savory protein workout bars or whatever, and they were popping drug tests.
The same happened with like GNC creatine for a while there. You couldn't have any of the creatine from GNC because it was popping.
Yeah.
And there were a bunch of heat casualties.
I will say this, that while I was serving, there was no weed of any kind, devil or otherwise. And there was also no kind bars because that shit's supposed to be healthy, and that does not go into my body. So,
Very conscious about what I put in my body.
Safe all around. And by the way,
man after my own colon.
I was correct. Mum is the common name for a chrysanthemum. So look at me knowing shit.
You leave the Marine Corps and you become a florist. I love it. It's beautiful.
Leave the Marine Corps and your IQ jumps by 87 points. The second you're like re-enlist, no, I'm done. They're fucking like, bam, boost the IQ.
I would have got me once.
So I would have stayed in had they let me move to a more intelligent career field.
Look, it'd be like that sometimes.
Like they wouldn't let me.
They were like fucking smart for us.
They literally said, I remember this to this day because it was the worst shit I've ever heard anybody say to me. And I was so pissed off about it. The guy said, listen, we trained you to be a mechanic. That's what you are. That's what you'll always be. Stop trying to rise above your station.
Whoa.
And I went, all right, can you sign this paper? He goes, what's that? I said, I'm leaving in 2 weeks. He went, wait, let's talk. I said, we did. You fucked up.
It's my DD-214, motherfucker.
We're talking. You said I was reaching above my station.
Yeah.
Ergo, I'm changing my station.
Yep, pretty much. And then I went into the Army. Got the job I wanted.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right,
I love this because every time I see anything about flowers and weaponry, it makes me think of the freaking granny in Ukraine. It was telling the Russian troops to carry the sunflower seeds in their pockets so that sunflowers would grow where their bodies fell.
That's not a dumb idea. That's not a dumb idea. Actually,
Grandma gave no shits. Like fucking full on armored division of Russians pull up, and she's handing out sunflower seeds. Please just carry these so that
they gotta know where
when you fall, your blood will water these, and sunflowers will grow where you fall. Well, dude's just standing there in his balaclava, being like,
There's a twofold for that though, because then they'll be able to spot where the bodies are, dig them up, and get them the hell out of their country.
That's true.
It's not dumb.
Imagine being kicked out post mortem.
Oh my god!
Like you've been extradited posthumously. Like fucking bye.
And in honor of our conversation, you can call me Flower if you want to.
But before we get into what tonight's episode is, we're going to make sure you are protected, and especially protected because this episode, it's very dangerous. You don't even want to get a little fleck of that speech spittle on you. Make sure you're protected. It's the sultry voices. You may recognize them from the original audio books. It's Kate and Michael here to make sure you're safe and sound.
Ooh.
This episode contains spoilers from the entire Wheel of Time series.
If you have not read the series, you are at risk of being spoiled.
You have been warned.
I love the grit in his voice.
I was about to say,
you have been warned.
I almost got a kickstand out of that.
I just love the on the K, like risk.
Yeah,
like a hard K at the end.
Yeah,
nice.
Anyway, Josh, what are we talking about tonight?
Look, not everything you see with 4 legs and fur is a good boy. Not everything you see with 4 legs and fur needs head pats and scratches and good boys. Okay?
But look at him. He looks like such a good boy.
Some of them are not the goodest boys. And today we're going to talk about Dims what not be the good boys. And if you haven't figured it out by now, really go read the books and then come back.
Yeah, listen, this is how I die. This is how I die.
Not friend, wife, petting, shape.
Puppy!
Yeah, petting, darkest houndus.
Here's how this scene plays out. Okay, Tavern, Andrew and I are hanging out, and next thing we know, we smell sulfur, and we turn around and we see yellow eyes in the darkness, and
I'd be okay with that.
Slobber dripping onto the pavement, and Tavern goes, "Hey guys, I want to pet him.
You know what? You
And
know
we go,
what?
no, you can't pet him. I want to pet him.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'd pet that one because that's not a dark hound. They have
It'd be like
silver
petting
eyes.
Perrin
Oh.
or Elias.
They have silver eyes, not
Silver
yellow
eyes.
eyes. So,
That's what I meant. That's
so
what I meant.
yellow eyes, I'm petting that
Gosh,
bitch. I'm
look
giving
at the
hugs.
picture again. Look at the picture again.
Sorry, okay? Look, I've had a hard day, okay?
This is a newer one. He hasn't been through so much combat yet, so that's why his coat still looks nice and shiny.
He's not mangy and shit.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
not
dark
covered in-
hounds. We're talking
Doesn't
about
look
dark
like-
hounds.
A dog crossed with a chupacabra.
The shadow spawn.
That's kind of
That
that's what they
even
look like. They
sends
look like
a
a
chill-
dog made it with a chupacabra. Like
The shadow spawn that
Fuego.
even sends a chill up the spine of our landman Dragarin, who is
not
the
a shill up
undisputed
his spine.
best swordsman in the world.
What
So-
what is happening in chat? Wow. Okay.
Taint. Taint is happening.
That's a lot. That's a lot to take in right there. That's what she said. I know.
That's what she
Oh,
said.
So, Darkhound in general refers to a species of shadow spawn. And in case you didn't know this, within the umbrella of Darkhounds, there are two variants or two subspecies. We're going to talk about the first one, the less scary one, the one that only makes you shit your underwear, not your full pants.
Yeah. The puppy.
Because these things are fucking massive to start off with. You think Darkhound, you think large wolf, which wolves are pretty
Yeah.
big already. Like every wolf is like the size of a Great Dane on like Mr. Olympia. Like that's perfect. They're like
Now.
Great Danes with like Mr. Olympia version, like levels of steroid injections. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking nuts. So they're the size of small horses, generally speaking, weighing generally, this is a generalization, between
A
250 and
generalization.
300 pounds.
Which says a lot because anybody who owns dogs or has ever owned a dog knows that size does not really equate to weight. At least like not height. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to have a solid ass dog to get 100 and something pounds.
Yeah.
So 300 pounds, you're putting a saddle on that thing and going. I mean, it's big.
Not only that,
Yeah.
I weigh 225. Like that's
Lies.
that's
Fuck
a
off,
He's lying.
what?
skinny bitch. I weigh as much as a fucking stout Darkhound. All right, that's a new insult right there.
I was just gonna say
Do,
that
do
we're
not trust
talking
your
about-
innkeeper unless he weighs as much as a stout Darkhound.
Well, then we have the best innkeeper around.
yay! Master Andrew, innkeeper at the Madman's Peace.
Did you say master or Mastiff Andrew?
I'm not gonna
Either
say.
one works.
Oh, fuck.
All right. So they are darker than night and again as big as ponies with eyes that shine silver or white. Rand, when he was holding on to Sidene, could hear their hearts beating like deep drums pounding, but he could not hear them breathe. So maybe they don't. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. But they're circulating some shit up in their chesty. What the fuck?
I don't even know. I'd saddle Andrew. Wow.
Not with my back. You wouldn't.
No.
We'd both be on the floor calling for life alert. All right.
Yeah, if you saddle Andrew, he's just gonna hurt his back.
And not only that, but it's
More.
like he's got permanent burrs up under there.
Oh yeah.
So that would just be horrible.
It's all kind of fucky. So generally speaking, why do I keep saying generally speaking? It's like
I don't know.
I'm so ingrained in just saying that. So the shadow uses them mainly to hunt down targets. Like your stereotypical like country song basset hound tracking down escaped convicts or whatever. But of course, the shadow
Old Red.
it's like just track down whoever I want. That is a great song and immediately what I was thinking about.
You're welcome.
I was headed northbound and old Red was headed
In
south.
South. Yeah, he was.
Their saliva
record.
and blood are both poisonous and corrosive, causing bruising and burns. And presumably, of course, if you ingest it for whatever reason, you know, like a dark hound licks you in the mouth as you're petting it for whatever reason,
Because I'm
not gonna go
pet a
well.
dark hound. It's like it's almost.
Um,
I mean, the description is really weird because it's almost like he took a dire wolf, which is about the same size, right, and mixed it with a fucking Komodo dragon.
Oh yeah.
With the innards of a Komodo
Oh,
dragon.
yeah.
And that's just horrifying.
Oh yeah. So if even a tiny amount of either bodily fluid, touches the skin, the victim will die a slow and greatly painful death. Larger amounts, of course, will kill a human almost instantly. Bites from dark hounds are almost inevitably fatal. They make no mark whatsoever on soft ground, but leave their little toe bean prints in the stone.
Toe beans.
I shot bro. You're gonna need a stomach pump by the end of
I
this
just filled my
episode.
glass up again because
Yep.
I'm ready. I saw that. I'm ready.
Oh god.
We're in.
So,
Good luck.
question. Or wait, you know what? I'll leave my questions till the end. Go for it.
Yeah. Finish the one.
They are frequently accompanied by the smell of burned sulfur. And this is what actually wakes up Rand in Ruidian, because he gets a faint whiff of a foul miasma creeping under the door. Not a smell at all, but really a sense of otherness. But that was how it felt. Rank, like something dead a week in stagnant water.
Which is exactly
Or-
how dogs fart. It's exactly how dogs fart. So it's
It's
perfect.
not really a smell. It's just a sense of something wrong in the air.
That shit happened to me 3 days ago. My dog was outside my door, and there was this faint miasma of a dead something that
Fucking tendrils just like coming under the door.
permeated my office. It was freaking horrible.
Bro. Darkhounds are notoriously very difficult to kill. People with very good aim, and in this first species, a subspecies of Darkhound, could be able to eliminate some through arrows before the Darkhound reaches their target. But they are very difficult to kill in short range attacks. Power wrought weapons have proven to be effective in eliminating them. Balefire is considered to be one of the few things most reliable in killing Darkhounds. In terms of their tracking abilities, Land has claimed that it's impossible to outrun Darkhounds once they have your scent. But as they don't like the rain, and a good thunderstorm can stop them completely. Running water, there's a theme here with the Shadow Spawn. Running water will also halt them in their tracks. And they will not usually venture out into the rain. But once running rain fails,
I know. Yeah, it's a weird.
yeah. I think it's so. But once they're running after their prey, like they're close, rain will not stop them.
Yeah, there's a definitely missing comma or something there.
There's something missing there. There's some part of sentence structure that's missing there. But if they're like hot on your trail, even rain won't stop them. They typically run in packs of 10 to 12, though a pack can be as large as 50 hounds, such as the one that Perrin encounters on the morning he scouts So Harbor.
Yep.
And he and Moraine fought Darkhounds outside of Ilion, and he was able to kill one with several arrows to the face.
To the face.
And during the last battle, power wrought weapons are demonstrated as very effective against this breed or species of Darkhounds.
There's something else that actually takes them out pretty readily as well.
I mean, it is technically a power rod if it's the same thing that
What's
I'm thinking about.
Go for it.
Molineer?
No. I'm talking about the wolves that were summoned by the Horn of Valir that were in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Oh yeah.
They take them out with a quickness.
Oh yeah.
With
Yeah.
extreme prejudice.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
Yeah. So let's focusing just on this subspecies. Or do we want to go through the description of all of them so we can talk about all dark hounds without reservation, or do we want to talk about this subspecies and then move on?
I mean, there's only one. I'm going to say one major thing between the two subspecies.
Yeah.
This
What
is
is
the big thing?
Let's just go ahead and talk about it.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tavern.
So the subspecies that I fucking hate with a passion are the Terminator 2 models or the Terminator T-1000 models, the ones that you can chop up, they'll pull and then come back together and recreate the Dark Hound. Yeah, I don't like those at all. Like, I'm not a fan. And I think the only thing that takes them out is Balefire for sure.
I think
and
so.
Mjolnir.
And
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And power rot weapons will do.
I don't know. I don't think it's all power rot weapons. I don't know.
Oh.
We only ever I think see them hit by Mjolnir, I think. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't remember. No, doesn't Rand Balefire? One of them when he first, when he first encounters him.
Plenty of these.
Yeah,
in Ruidian, because that's
Yeah.
the whole reason Matt's still alive.
No, but didn't he? How did he kill them when he met them when he was on his own traveling? Was it the Sword of Fire?
Balefire.
He
It was Balefire. Yeah, I was about to say it was
He
Balefire.
just used like really thin, like pew,
Yeah.
like Star Wars.
I don't think at that
blasters.
point he knew what the hell he was doing though.
No.
So it was just
No,
like
yeah.
instinct. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
He also didn't know, like, there's also nothing about them necessarily that tells you which breed is which to tell
No.
you if you can kill them with like, a power rot blade. Not that Rand, I mean, other than having a literal power rot blade, Rand doesn't have one of those anymore. So
Yeah. I'm looking at this.
This is part of why
There's no difference.
Lan is so nervous about them, because they never stop hunting.
No.
And they're damn near hard to kill. And you don't even if you have the skill, dexterity, and agility to land a clean, decapitating blow on a Darkhound, it could just come right back and start nomming your face.
Yeah, there's no difference. I don't think. I mean, from what I've read, they look exactly the same. You don't know which one you're getting.
yeah. Well,
Which
they're
is
extra
really
terrifying
wicked.
for us to read because, like, we get introduced to Trollocs.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to Murdral.
Right.
And that, like, chopping their head off is, like, the only way to deal with them. And even then, they're just going to flail until sunrise.
Yeah, you got to chop them. You got to chop them to pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we get Drakkar, which we're going to talk about in another episode later on. But still, like, they're frightening in different ways. But
yeah, they're creepy.
Killable, they're more easy to kill than Murdral are in some ways. Then you're like, okay, cool. It's the age-old, just take the head off, just like a zombie, and you're going to be fine. And then the special breed Darkhound shows up and is like,
only one.
you thought that if you can't use Balefire, you're just screwed. Oh wait, it's after 20 minutes. You're fucked.
Yeah, it is interesting that they he sets it up with, okay, here's your Trollocs, they're badass, they're tough. You have your Murdral, they're super tough. You have your Drakkar, which you're kind of like, okay. You have your Darkhounds, which are intimidating, but okay. The toughest thing out there, really, that you get at the beginning is the Murdral. Later on, we get the Golem, but that's a whole different story. Yeah. So you're like, okay, so
I'm pretty sure that's still the Wheel of Time.
No. That was funny. But it's a Darkhound. It's a dog. Okay, I get it. They're tough to kill, but they're not Murdral, right? And you chop up a Murdral, but that doesn't kill a freaking Darkhound, at least not this subspecies. And that just blew my freaking mind when I read it. I was like, what just happened? I was like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
also like hard for me to like keep in mind just their actual size when I'm reading the books, because I still think like dog or wolf size. I don't think fucking pony size. Like,
Yeah.
imagine a pack of 12 pony-sized,
Shetland
nigh
ponies.
indestructible dogs that all they have to do is slobber on you a little bit,
Yeah.
and you're fucked.
Yeah. If they get happy, you're
Like-
screwed.
God
get
help
happy,
you if
you're
they
screwed.
if they start red rocketing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
now they've got a ranged attack. All right, now they're even scarier. All right,
no.
the only thing that recently that I can think of that puts it into perspective for me visually were the dire wolves on Game of Thrones.
Huh?
They were
Yeah.
pony sized.
yeah.
At least Nymeria ended up being pony sized. I don't think Ghost ever made it that big, but he was still pretty big.
Yeah. There's at least one or two that didn't make it that far.
Yeah. Well, no, Ghost survived to. I'm just saying he just didn't look as big on
Oh,
screen.
yeah,
But when
he was
Arya met Nymeria again in the woods on her way up north, that freaking dire wolf was fucking massive.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about they're pretty big. So that's the only way I can put it in my head when you describe them. Okay, I understand what size that is now.
Yeah.
I
mean,
like that
something
you brought
else.
up the Game of Thrones, because I love that there was conversations from the TV show to not lean into Game of Thrones too much, and so they considered for a while having Perrin be able to talk to bears instead of wolves.
Brother Bear.
Yeah,
That's just dumb.
yeah. I'm glad they did
That's
not
just
do that.
stupid.
Freaking
Listen.
Princess Mononoke sized wolf.
Yes.
I'm still angry about Loyal, so let's not go into that. Moving on.
So one of the things like about them that I think helps drive home just how dangerous they are is we know pretty early on that like the wolves avoid them. They don't like them, but they like everything else in the world. Honestly, early on, wolves avoid just fucking everything, but they especially avoid darkhounds or the Shadow Brothers, as they call them.
Yeah.
But we learned that darkhounds, by them, a single darkhound can overpower several large packs of wolves by itself.
Yeah.
It's just one. And they run around in packs of like 7 to 12.
Yeah. There's a few of them. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I don't care how badass I think I am. If I find out that the dude that's going to hunt me down and I can't get away from him can like murk my entire like company by himself.
I was gonna say it's like a Marine at the Air Force Ball.
I mean, that's fair. I've never been to one.
I got a
can
joke
imagine.
that I'll tell after this.
You know,
in-
it's weird.
in the
There's
post chat.
that happens, and then there's a lot of like divorces after the Air Force Ball. It's
There's a lot.
fucking
There are a
crazy.
lot.
The weirdest thing. They haven't been able to figure it out to this day. It's a mystery.
So the
I mean,
The
what do you
one-
want? Do you want a 3-piece blue suit, or do you want the fucking Marine Corps Class A's? I mean, that's not really a hard decision,
no.
right? One looks badass, and the other one looks like you bought it at a thrift.
The other one looks like a bus driver.
Yeah. Like Ralph
Especially if you get the
Cramden.
fucking cap.
Like Ralph Cramden. To the moon, Space Force, to the moon. So that Loyal comment I made actually triggered something in me. And if Darkhounds do appear on the show and they get the Loyal treatment, we're gonna get a bunch of dark Chihuahuas running around this set.
Well,
just yipping at people.
if Darkhounds
They got the
make it
soul
to
right
show,
if they choose
They
Chihuahuas.
do have the soul.
and they get the wolf treatment, we're gonna have a bunch of Darkhound Chihuahuas running around.
It's true.
Because the dogs that they use in the show are, you guys,
yeah,
those
they're
are
small.
half the size of
Well,
actual wolves.
I was about to say because wolves here in the States are decent size, but the ones in Europe are supposed to be bigger, aren't they?
That I don't know,
Let's find out.
but I'll never
I
forget.
don't know.
There's a
I
zoo
want
here
to say
locally.
it's the reverse of that, but don't quote me on that.
It's
because
possible.
There's a zoo here locally in Utah that I go to, that I like to go to. It's fun.
I
And
know
they've got
Europe
timber
hasn't
wolves.
airdropped wolves back into the wilderness like we have over here. So
Yeah. They have timber wolves there, and they are massive. I'm a 6 foot tall guy, and these wolves come up, their backs come up to my hip. Like their head easily comes up to my neck and my chin. They're huge.
I don't know what these mean.
Someone's using
Are they
metrics.
numbers?
Man.
No, because they have like
They're numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
Arctic wolf, I get it, right? It makes sense.
Right.
Eastern timber wolf, Great Plains wolf. I'm guessing Great Plains, that's us. And then they had the Mackenzie Valley wolf. I don't know who fucking Mackenzie is, and I don't know if her freaking band, The Valley, was any good. I don't know.
It sounds pretty North American. I'm going to go
Um,
out on a limb and assume North American.
so here's what this says. So the Egyptian wolf body mass, so we're going to say in kilograms, is 10 to 16 kilograms. The Arabian wolf is 14 to 20. The Indian or desert wolf is 18 to 26. The Mexican wolf is 22 to 34, which is actually pretty freaking decent size. The Eurasian wolf is 32 to 55 kilograms. Rarely is it over 50. The Caspian sea wolf can get up to 48, and the tundra wolf to 49, but roughly about 40 kilograms.
So pretty good spread.
So the highest one at 55 kilograms, that's
Eurasian.
Was a smidge over 121 pounds.
Yeah, which is nothing.
So that's a little less than half the max size of a what you call it, a dark hound. It's already 125 pounds less than the low end dark hound, like the malnourished dark hound.
the emaciated dark hound.
Yeah. So for a kilogram, you would need a wolf that can get up to 113, 114 kilograms to equal the low end dark hound.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that. It is the largest. The gray wolf is the largest species and the largest wild dog in the world. They are found in North America, Eurasia, and parts of Africa. The male gray wolves can weigh up to 80 kilograms, which is 176 pounds.
Damn.
So, I mean, I wonder how
that's
tall
getting closer, but that's still like
no, it's nothing. Yeah,
80 pounds under.
What's
So that's another third. You'd have to add another third to their mass to equate the low end dark hound.
Yeah, and then the biggest or the tallest is the maned wolf, which stands up to 43 inches at the shoulder. So that's almost 4 feet at the shoulder. That's pretty decent size. But again, it doesn't really say much because this isn't even the heaviest. Yeah. Right. So the shorter ones are heavier, where this is just going to look like a tall, skinny freaking, wolf. Right. Nowhere near the 300 freaking pounds.
That's the thing, though. And I think there's a lot of the art done for darkhounds, which looks good, but a lot of it still like if they actually look that emaciated as they do in so many of the like artist renditions, and still weigh 250 to 300 pounds, like they're fucking carrying around like pieces of adamantium on their fucking skeleton. Like,
hold on, I'm gonna send something to you on Discord that I just came across.
I don't know if I'm scared, excited, or both.
If dark hounds were Mike Tyson, this thing,
holy shit. Why does this look like somebody's like high school like logo?
I don't know, dude, but it's ridiculous.
Jump into our Discord.
I was in Discord. I could not find you.
And we like to share stuff like this in our Discord.
Where is your Discord? Okay, there's your Discord. What channel am I looking at?
Oh, geez.
Look at that thing. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
What channel am I going into in the Discord?
Usually, well, for this one, you can put it in. I don't know. Just put it in the live chat.
Recording.
Live
I don't know if
recording
Tavern can see
discussion.
that.
I don't think I see that one. That's
Yeah,
all right.
hold on. I'll
You
fix it.
showed it on the screen. You're good.
Yeah, we showed it on the screen. I thought we were putting it in Discord. Ha! Sorry.
So now I've got to design a Darkhound Chihuahuas.
Oh my god.
Actually, I do have a. That was for
There you
D&D.
go.
I did a
Now you should be
Hellhound.
able to see the. Now you should be able to see it.
Let me refresh. Refresh. Live recording discussion. There it is.
I was like, saying like, oh, you should be able to see it. And I could just tag you in it to make sure you could see it. Anyway.
There you go. I put it in there.
Mhm.
The other question I had about Darkhounds, which revolves around Loyal.
Mhm.
So the bite of a Darkhound can take out a human. One bite can take out a human, pretty much. How many bites does it take to get to the center of an Ogier? Clearly, he survived the dagger from Shadar Lagoth.
Miraculously.
Yes. So, what the hell's a Darkhound going to do?
That was pre-lightsaber dagger. They hadn't added those effects to it.
Yeah,
He hadn't unlocked the memories of the. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Don't stop. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I will say this is when it comes to the Darkhound's bite. You know, they talk about how almost nothing can heal it if it's far enough along, if the infection is far enough along. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Komodo dragons have serrated teeth, and if they bite you at all and break skin, you will die.
Yeah, because they've got infections. Yeah,
their saliva is poisonous, and it's a bacterial poison though.
Yeah.
It's not a poison. It's just bacteria.
Yeah,
it's heavily infectious. Like
yeah.
There's so much bacteria in their mouth that you're
they
generally
actually
screwed.
They, from what I remember about Komodo dragons, they'll usually bite something and then just let it go, because one, they can track it, and two, it's going to die. They know it's going to die, so they don't chase shit. Which is just
behind it. Wait.
Can you imagine how much swag you have to have?
So you can survive the bite with immediate medical attention. However, it will often lead to severe infection and death due to bacteria-laden saliva. Oh, and they do have venom, so they are venomous as well. So there is a venom component.
Oh, nice.
In the dragon's mouth, which prevents blood clotting and causes massive blood loss. Even if you manage to escape the initial attack, the wound could still be fatal if not treated. So depending on where they get you, they could you're either going to die from bacterial infection if untreated, or you're going to bleed out.
Yeah, it's like a blood thinner. Yeah, it's nasty.
So that would be where the venom comes in and acts as an anticoagulant.
Right, and there's a lot of which is not uncommon. There's a lot of snakes that do the same thing.
I mean, it's considered a lower grade venom as far as venoms go, but you mix it with their dirty ass mouth.
With your dirty mouth.
Like that, they got that sitting behind Taco Bell sucking things for cash mouth.
What's your name? Komodo Cussalot. Because I got a dirty ass mouth. You okay, Josh? You all right? I think we've lost Josh.
I need a drink.
He'll be okay eventually. One thing we haven't gone over: how Darkhounds are made. So the initial ones presumably were created by Agenor.
Oh yeah, I do know that.
Initial ones presumably created by Agenor, but so they're created initially by twisting the soul of a wolf. But So I'm assuming that's what happened with the initial creation of the Darkhounds, that Agonar was twisting wolf souls, and it makes sense with his experimentation into the Trollocs, combining animal aspects
Yeah.
with everything else. But moving forward, after Agonar stops making shit, the Trollocs are self-reproducing. They're, screwing like Trollocs and having babies and
Doing
having
the
baby
babies.
Murdrals. Yeah.
which
The
doesn't make
Darkhounds,
any sense to me. The Murderall shit just
baby.
what the hell was that?
get in my belly.
Oh, that was Josh actually talking. I
Yeah.
thought somebody played a
Trolloc
sound effect or something.
No, that was Josh.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it during the Murdrall thing, and it seems like the percentage of Murdrall that are born from Trolloc coupling is pretty analogous to the amount of channelers that would be born in the normal
Also,
population.
Tavern, that's pretty rude to tell everybody.
But so this points to another ability apparently that the Darkhounds have that isn't expressly listed. Darkhounds can consume the soul of a wounded wolf.
Yep.
And if they do that, it becomes a Darkhound.
So
Which
they
really
don't.
sucks.
So it's like Murdrall level difficulty killing on steroids.
Yeah.
Plus the soul sucking ability of Drakkar.
So that's the thing that they don't explain, right? It says it,
Like,
but what's the visual on that? Is it because they're devouring the wolf, or is it like not to bring up HP, but kind of like the
Hewlett Packard?
Yes, Hewlett Packard. The
Please don't bring up
deprinters,
Hewlett Packard.
Which is also soul sucking.
not unlike
Yeah.
the deprinters and HP that suck your soul as well.
Bro, you think the printers are bad? Try working with nothing but their laptops. Fuck.
Oh, no. But yeah,
No,
so like
printers are worse.
with the Dementors, we know what
I
happens,
actually like their
right?
printers. Weird.
But how does a dark hound consume the soul of a wolf? How does
I wonder
that
if there's
happen?
something. I wonder if there's something about the corrosive properties of their saliva that can also like
Ooh,
adhere to like the soul of the wolf as it's like
Oh.
leaving, and they can like basically like consume. the
all right.
health of it or
I got a
something.
theory too. Go ahead, Josh.
You ready? Here's
Yeah.
how it looks. Here's the visual on this, okay? Do you remember the really, really, really terrible Mortal Kombat movies?
Which one?
And the first one, when Shang Tsung like grabs that dude's soul out of him and he says, "Your soul is mine."
Best line in movie history.
But I think it's like that, or it could be like Chronicles of Riddick, that dude who would like phase in and out, right? In the souls. But the difference, the added element being when a Darkhound chomps on a wolf, yes, he pulls that piece of flesh away, but also the soul is unable to separate from that piece. So the soul is pulled along with that.
It's like an
using
effect
that
of the
sort of
poison
shadow effect.
of their saliva. It traps
like-
the soul. It like binds the soul to the flesh so they can consume them both.
I like that theory. I will present
What's yours,
mine.
Tavern?
Mine is that as a Darkhound finishes taking out a wounded wolf and their soul is released, the Darkhound's presence corrupts the soul, not unlike the taint on Sidin,
Okay.
and converts it. It doesn't allow the soul to escape, so it traps it in its miasma of stench and freaking it just turns the soul. Which goes along with my theory that Murdrall are not born of Trollocs. They're basically fallen warders that were brought back by the Dark One. But that's just me. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what I'm going with.
No, I mean it makes sense. Like I like the headcanon of it.
Anyways, but that's my thought. But
I
I like
an
the
extra
saliva
bit
thing.
of sadness to the warder backstory.
Wasn't me.
Random sponsor moment.
I farted.
Yeah.
That was my butthole.
No, like
Sorry.
I guess maybe like so there's things about the Dark Hounds that have very I know them as intrinsically like very southern story tales about the devil, like the whole
Yeah.
crossroads thing.
Yep.
Because
Very
in the
popular
world
myth.
of the Wheel of Time, tales about Dark Hounds are told to scare children, and especially the southernmost lands. That Dark Hounds run the night in the wild hunt, looking for misbehaving children, and the Dark One himself is the hunter that follows them, and that crossroads are especially dangerous places to meet them right after
Why?
sunset or right before sunrise.
Somebody explain that to me, because I know the mythology. It's in a bunch of stuff about, you know, meeting the devil at the crossroads. There's that whole freaking thing with Karate Kid playing the banjo or the guitar or whatever at the crossroads. I think that was the name of the actual movie. You never saw that movie? You know what I'm talking about?
Karate Kid with like wax on, wax off?
Yeah, what's his face? The guy that plays Karate Kid. What the hell's his name?
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio it was in a movie where it's almost like, I want to say it's kind of a spoof of Devil Went Down to Georgia kind of thing, but I want to say it was called Crossroads or something to that effect, and he plays the guitar against the devil, and if it's him playing, holy cow, because it's insanely good. But it's an interesting movie. Anyways, but yeah, I don't get the crossroads thing. Don't understand.
So in folklore, crossroads are seen as liminal spaces or places that could be between worlds where the veil between physical and spiritual realms is thin, making it easier for supernatural entities like the devil to appear, and where individuals might be vulnerable to making deals or pacts with him, often, of course, at a significant cost to like their soul.
So is that because the roads are crossing, so it's almost like two planes intersecting? Is that
so that's the liminal space part of it.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, there's also like the metaphorical, you're at a crossroads in your life kind of thing.
Yeah, it represents a choice.
Look at that. I'm a genius.
Yeah.
And if someone is there to influence your choice, you know, to take the road that will lead you to the bad consequence.
I mean, that's what happened to Johnny Blaze, you know, when he was played by Nicolas Cage. He was running away from everything that happened, and the devil was like, "You can't run away, Johnny.
Collect the contract of San Venganza."
Nice. Just for those of you watching at home, if you're keeping track, the movie was called Crossroads, and it was a guitar student, Ralph Macchio, tours the Deep South with an old blues man, Joe Seneca. Stay away from that blues man. Chasing a lost song written by Robert Johnson, and Steve Vai is in this.
What?
Yeah. Jamie Gertz, Tim Russ, and Robert Judd as Scratch. So yeah, and Willie Brown actually plays Joe Seneca.
There's a lot of stories that kind of incorporate that, like "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" The guitar player from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" When he tells the story of how he sold his soul, he met the devil at a crossroads and asked for the talent to play guitar.
You gave him your immortal soul? Well, I wasn't doing nothing with it.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm driving down the road and I hear "Go to sleep, little baby," and I come across those three women in the stream, I'm dead.
Yes, right.
I'm dead. They're going to just take my soul.
They turned him into a horny toad.
I'm not gonna lie.
Was a toad.
I have never seen
Do not seek the treasure.
I've never seen a blues/bluegrass song that was that sensual in my entire life.
So what happens when you come across a tinker at the crossroads? Bro, that's got to be like a song that Tom plays.
I'm pretty
Tinker
sure
at the crossroads.
I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure that's racist.
Wow.
What, Tinker at a crossroads?
I'm pretty sure.
Don't try to
Tinker
put me in the
Crossroads.
same bucket you're in, sir.
Tinker at a crossroads. Tinker at a crossroads. Wear your pots and pans.
Bring the dark hounds in.
Now see that
Hide your
makes
children,
it
hide
just
your
sound a little weird.
pants. Tinker crossroads again. Sorry.
You gotta
I'm
walk real
uncomfortable.
fast. So you
Why
don't
is
go
it
to
so-
hell.
why is
Turning
it
around
so
and let
rednecky?
that smell.
Why is it so rednecky? Is the thing?
Oh god. During the last battle in Thakandar, the blowing of the horn of Valir is able to summon the heroes. Along with them come the spirits of all the past dead wolves that are dwelling in Talarandriad. They are silvery figures and amongst the few things that are able to fight successfully against the Darkhound packs. There's a reference earlier where Masuri Sokawa, an Aes Sedai the Brown Aja, has been studying Darkhounds and has claimed to cross the paths of 7 different packs, and says that the number of packs in existence is in dispute, but it could. Some sources saying there's only 7, others claim 9, 13, or more.
Yeah.
And some ancient sources claim that during the Trolloc Wars there were hundreds, or at least 100 packs, and in numbers like unto the nightmares of mankind.
Yeah,
But
that's
however,
crazy.
given the size of the pack discovered by Perrin, the 50 plus pack, and the lack of wolves in the area, you can kind of speculate about their numbers. The difference being, of course, that the Darkhounds don't die from just not eating, presumably,
Yeah, that's true.
and the wolves will.
So
And
here's a correlation that I think
their KD ratio sucks ass.
that can be made.
Sorry, Wolfie.
There's a correlation that I think can be made is that the size of the Darkhound pack is larger, like you said, when there's less wolves around, but is it because the wolves are staying away, or is it because the Darkhounds have converted wolves into Darkhounds?
Or que no los dos.
It could be both. Yes, it could be both. But I'm just saying. I mean, there's several ways to think about this. Have they taken out a shit ton of wolves? Sorry, Wolfie. Or are the wolves just chicken shits? Sorry, Wolfie.
I think at this point it's the wolves exercising extreme caution.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I think it's after 3,000 years. I think they finally learned to stay the fuck away from the smell of sulfur.
I will say this: that the wolves in the Wheel of Time are probably among the wisest creature/characters in any fantasy books.
It's crazy how much longer their memory is.
Yeah.
Than humans. Like, and of course it's not the same direct, storytelling memory. It's sense and sounds and sensations and flashes of visuals. So like
is that wolf's
look at
name,
it from a data point of view.
Is that wolf's name live? No, his name is Memorex. Sorry, that was an old person joke. My apologies.
But it's really cool just how old their memory is. I mean,
Good
of course
save.
we get all of this through parents' eyes interactions, namely through like translations of his interactions with Hopper. Who doesn't become a dark friend or a Darkhound, but does go on to die the second death. So that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's part of where the caution comes from, because there's 2 ways to die if you're a wolf. One is to die in the world of dreams. One is to be separated from your mortal flesh and, like Hopper, be killed in the world of dreams. Then you are dead, like actually really dead.
Wolfie's
the other way
right
is
in the chat,
to
bro.
be killed by a Darkhound.
So as we get close to kind of ending this foray into the Hounds of Darkness.
The Hounds of Darkness.
Once a Darkhound is killed,
I am Darkhound.
Do we believe that potentially, like we talked about a while back, Josh, we had somebody else on and we were talking about
I know where
when
you're going with
Trollocs are ultimately like taken out and or the boar is repaired and souls are released back into being respawned and recycled out potentially. Does the death of a Darkhound release the wolf soul for the cycle of reincarnation?
Think about this. Pretty much the only thing, I mean, several things can kill him, but the one thing for sure that can kill him is balefire, which
Mhm.
removes them completely from the pattern. So those wolves aren't coming back for shit, right? Regardless of the boar being sealed or whatever. Anything hit with balefire, they ain't coming back. So
Well, it
Is
only
it-
removes you
Hmm.
back to a point based off of the strength.
no. Balefire removes you from the pattern, if I'm not mistaken. If you get killed by balefire, you're not coming back. If I'm not, I believe that's accurate.
It's not entirely accurate.
It's not all right.
Yeah, when a target is struck with balefire, its threat in the pattern is destroyed in an amount proportional to the power of the balefire strike.
Right. And so the reason why there's confusion as to whether or not you can come back is because when you die, what we've kind of established is that there's a brief period of time in which the Dark One can take dominion over your soul, right? But if you balefire someone, they get killed a further piece of time back than the Dark One is
And
able
the
to
dark one can
intercede.
reach. Yeah.
Well, okay, so like when Raven gets killed, is it Raven? I think it's when
Yeah.
Raven gets killed, Matt
Mhm.
and the people that died come back because it does rewind time. So if you weren't hit by the balefire, you have a chance to come back, right?
Yeah.
Because it's rewinding time.
Well, yeah, it burns out their actions.
Yeah. So who came back from being hit with balefire?
I don't know that
None of the
anybody-
Forsaken get immediately reincarnated by the Dark One. Presumably, the souls do still get reincarnated unless we believe it's a completely different, like Ravine and the rest during future turnings that they're newly created souls. But
Okay.
if
Oh, wait.
if the thread is only burned back to a specific to a certain point, then there's a point in the pattern that gets recycled itself where that soul still exists. It's just in a much
Okay.
further past.
So I'm going to read this. It says the Dark One is unable to resurrect any person who is killed by balefire, mentioning himself that he is not capable of stepping outside of time. As balefire technically causes a person to die in the past, the Dark One can only resurrect someone with a certain time span or within a certain time span with balefire exceeding that limit.
Right.
So balefire exceeds his limit to bring them back.
Yeah, it's
So-
outside of that time
Yes.
span where he.
So that's what I'm
has a-
saying.
Yeah, he's got a
Balefire
narrow
takes him out.
window to jump in.
But he can't with anybody that was balefired at all.
Yeah, because it kills
Yeah.
him in the past,
Yeah.
which is before that narrow window he has.
But the
That soul
soul
still
still
exists.
exists.
Prior to that point, it just causes them to die in the past, putting them outside of that point because they're too far forward in time now in reality from the point that their thread was burned back in the pattern. If that makes sense.
Y'all are hurting my head.
So,
Just
like,
kidding. No, it makes sense. So we're
Yeah.
both kind of right. Kind of.
yeah. So then the question becomes: if a Darkhound is balefired, and the thread is burned back,
Ooh.
when that part of the pattern gets cycled back around into the loom, does that soul have a chance at being reborn as a wolf again?
As a non-corrupted soul.
So I would think that any wolf whose soul has been devoured by a dark hound might have a chance of coming back. But dark hounds themselves, who've been around since Agenor created them, which is a possibility because we don't know that they die other than, whatever. Those I don't think will. But I would say that there would be a chance for a wolf whose soul has been devoured by a Darkhound, that might be a possibility. But a
Okay.
true Darkhound from the original group, I don't think so. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair enough. I mean, I disagree, but I think it's fair enough.
I listen.
Yeah. But that's
I
only
don't care
because
what
we
you say.
did. That's only because we did the episode where basically, like, my thought is at the point that Rand does the perfect repair of the Dark One's prison, that all of the souls that were trapped in a cycle of rebirth and shadow spawn were released because the Dark One can no longer touch threads in the
Right.
pattern. He can no longer force the rebirth of those souls as shadow
Right.
spawn.
Right.
So they get washed, rinsed, and released back into the rest of creation.
So
Which solves the problem of an infinitely growing shadow army across
That does.
ages, turning over and over and over again.
at least until the next time the shadow.
Yeah, like it grows
Pops his head.
infinitely until the dragon or whoever or Amarasu is successful, repairs the prison, presumably,
Yeah.
presuming that never
Yeah.
fails. And then the Dark One's ability to touch the pattern, which all people's souls are parts of, is no longer there, so they get released from their, many thousands of years of servitude. Because there's no reports of like Trollocs and shit from like the Age of Legends, are there?
No, he created them after. I think Agenor created them after.
Yeah. So there has to be a point where like you have to start from fresh.
Yeah.
Well, there has to be a way to undo the corruption, right? If you want to maintain balance, otherwise,
The only reason I try to disagree with people, especially guests, is so that it's more entertaining.
no, the otherwise, like if there's no road back from the corruption from the corruption on a soul, if there's no way to repair that, if there's no way to come back from that, then it's just a matter of spinning ages until all the souls are corrupted.
Which doesn't work because the creator can create souls.
Yeah, exactly. It just
But ultimately, you're missing the worst thing. Because if there's no way back, then it makes the children of the light liars. And we can't have that.
we
can't be liars.
100% we can have that. I am perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine with lying children of the light. We'll just call them children of the lying. Children of the lying.
Children of the light. Let's have them swear on the oath rod.
It's already in the name. You just don't.
Oh, they swear on a rod.
The end of light.
Okay. How funny would that be, though, for Aes Sedai to start capturing children of the light and swearing them to the oath rod and being like, "What have you got to be afraid of? You always tell the truth because the truth walks in the light, right?"
Well, that wouldn't work because the oath rod only works on channelers, so it'd have to be the binding chair.
No.
But right idea. No, the oath rod only works on channelers.
Yeah, but the children of the light don't know that.
But what happens whenever they still try to lie and find themselves able? Like, yeah,
then
I
they
swore
poop
oaths,
themselves and they go, "Wait a minute, is that right? Oh no!"
Then they must be dog friends. They turned me into a newt.
Bring me my binding chair.
Shrubbery.
Child Buyer is a Darkhound.
Yeah.
He is the soul of a Darkhound. No bullshit.
You're not wrong.
That dude can track. Holy moly.
Child Buyer is what happens when a Darkhound gets reincarnated, but isn't
That's
completely washed clean.
Child of the light.
Like, still has a little bit of the fucking twisted taint on them, but they're like a religious fanatic.
And I will say that his rapier wit was full of poison and freaking caustic verbiage.
Love it.
Child Buyer, use one caustic bitch.
He is a caustic bastard. Jeez.
Anyway, any final thoughts as we round out this here episode on Darkhounds? Anything you learned that maybe you didn't know before, or new thoughts? What anything? Well, a Tavern.
So I'm huge on many platforms. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really big.
Big deal.
Pornhub, YouPorn, Google unblurred search.
listen, whatever. If I was big on you porn, I'd be pretty proud of that. Is all I'm saying. No, so I'm pretty big on the whole Lord of the Rings / Wheel of Time comparisons, right? Fane and Gollum, that kind of Dragon Mount and Tarvalon, Lonely Mountain and Lake Town. So for me, the Darkhounds are the Nazgul that are the ring race. Yeah. That's the kind of impression I get from them. And so it to me, it's always cool to try to, just like with words, I love learning the root meaning of words. It's always cool to try to identify where maybe a writer was pulling ideas from. And I freaking listen, Darkhounds are badass. Playing D&D my whole life, the equivalent is, of course, the Hellhound. And Hellhounds pale in comparison to these things. Holy shit.
You gotta mix them with the what are the cats?
Oh, the Displacer
Let's call
Beast?
them kitty whippins.
Oh yeah.
The cats with the two tails that have
Yeah,
like the
Displacer Beast.
Displacer Beast.
yeah, that.
Yeah.
Mix a Hellhound with a Displacer Beast.
Oh, that would be horrible, because then they can project images of themselves. That would suck.
And you get disadvantage.
That would suck.
I might have to add.
There's an idea for your D&D campaigns. Do a hybrid of Hellhounds and Displacer Beast.
Here, and then to throw a twist on them, because I'm such an asshole. Hellhound Displacer Beast, but in reality, it's a mimic.
It's always a mimic.
I've gotten to the point where I like making mimics into like potion bottles.
Nice.
Like healing potions. They see one, they pick it up, they go to chug it, and it eats their face.
Nice.
Have you seen the finger mimics?
Oh, dude.
Where, like, you take massive damage and you think you lost a finger, but you look down and you didn't.
But it's
a fucking finger mimic that reads your brain and moves like you think.
It replaces your finger. It bites your finger off and then replaces your finger.
Oh no.
Yeah, but you you generally don't know.
Can you imagine being a paladin with a finger mimic in the middle of the night? You're like, he can't see me now. Whap, thwap. Ah!
Now you got a penis mimic.
I didn't want to say it. I wasn't gonna say it.
Thanks,
Addicted
everybody.
to the mimic.
Andrew,
Oh,
what do you
no.
got? What are your last thoughts?
Right now, dick mimics apparently. Like,
Woo, that takes us
fucking
back
thing
to
I
the
never knew
beginning
I
of the
should
show
have
with put your dick in it. Put your dick mimic in it, and there you go. Can you imagine the cascade of events that would happen? Finger mimic to freaking dick mimic to
mimic babies.
Oh my god, it would be horrible.
That would be.
It's like a spider's like fucking nest of like babies, but just
Just a
little
bunch of
dick
little
mimics that come out running. They run around like Goombas.
How many appendages could you have as mimics before
Oh
you
my god.
realized?
Actually, that could be like a really badass character, like a character that's kind of like some kind of beast tamer.
Yeah.
And they lost all their appendages, so they're like all of their appendages are just independent mimics.
Trained
They've tamed.
mimics.
Or if you really want to put a twist on it, you have your accident with the finger mimic, right? And then he writes a letter and gets visas for his mimic family to come over and settle on your body. so they show up one at a time and just take a fucking part.
Bruh. It's crazy. But definitely equally as crazy as the special breed of Darkhounds.
Yes. I hate them.
There's so much about Darkhounds that I think just kind of like, because they're in the books clearly, but they're not super common that we encounter. Like the most consistent encounters we get are Rand and what is that Dragon Reborn? When he's like running away from everybody and we only get like a couple chapters.
Yeah, Dragon Reborn
And he's like out in the wilderness and he
Dragon
comes
Reborn.
across people and just murks them every time.
Yeah.
And then he's chased by like dark hounds forever.
Yeah, when he's having the DTs in the middle of nowhere and he's just making shit happen.
Yeah. Like, oh, all these people got married. Oh, all these people died. Like crazy shit. They're terrifying, but it's hard, I think, for the reader to keep in mind the actual size and scale of a dark hound and not like regulate it or reduce it down to the size of like a bloodhound.
Right.
But then to also like discern that there are two different breeds with no distinguishing characteristics until after you try to kill them.
Yeah, no, that's that. Like I said, that's a scary fucking thing. Not to mention that in the scope of the Wheel of Time, right, where the story takes place, people don't even believe Trollocs exist.
Yeah.
Right? They don't even. I mean, there are a few people like Bail Doman knows about him because he, does the ice pepper freaking fest.
The ice pepper challenge.
Yeah, he does the ice pepper challenge up north. And of course, the Saldeans and all those guys fight them on a fairly regular basis. But toward the south, nobody even thinks they're real. So imagine
Matt douses a dog in flour and it runs around like Amon Spield and everybody thinks it's a dark hound.
Yeah.
Which makes no fucking sense to me. It's in the name, Dark Hound. Why would it be fucking flower white? Like
not white pasty hound. It doesn't, but yeah. So, imagine that you're out doing whatever. You've been drinking at the tavern. You're heading home. It smells like somebody's got rotten eggs. Tongue, fingers, ears, nose, tongue, dick, nipples, toes. And
no, my nipples a mimic.
And they're pitch black, right? So you can't even see them clearly. A regular one, I mean, you can't distinguish one from the other, like you said.
Yeah.
But you're like, and you get lucky, you get a couple shots in its face. Oh, it's dead. And in your drunken stupor, that you get that drunken bravado where you get shit done.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, I killed it. And then you walk away,
like
and then
standing over it, being like, "Yeah, bitch."
And then you walk away, and all of a sudden you hear, and you turn around, and that motherfucker's still pulling together, and you're like, "Oh, that's not. I didn't sign up for this."
And then there's like his 6 to 7 plus friends
that they show up,
out of the shadow, and you're just like,
"Hey,
can you draw a bow and arrow enough to hit yourself to save yourself from the agony?" Like
I just shove a fucking arrow in your face, dude. Just right in your eyeball. You don't even need the bow at that point. But just the other dark hounds showing you,
I'll make this arrow disappear.
Hey Raja, this guy bothering you?
What about you, Josh?
Legs.
Josh, what you got?
Look, dark hounds.
Besides a certain condition that penicillin will fix.
I don't think it will.
No,
it can.
I'm so far beyond hope.
I guess
you got some of that dark hound saliva on you. I guess.
Who told
Burns?
Dark hound, money shot.
Dark hounds are some of the scariest beings I think ever created.
They're nasty.
And I know people like to kind of say that they're not all that because you can just take them out with balefire, but let's be real, they are not to be trifled with.
1% of the 3% population.
It's like I can take that. You can take this thing out, but you need depleted uranium rounds.
Because
we all have those.
Hey,
you need an entire airframe designed around a Volkswagen Beetle-sized gun.
When they found the dark hounds and they let them go, they were like, "Cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war." And it was well met, and it was the right energy.
I'm sure. Yeah, no, those things are nasty. It's just dark hounds are just evil.
They're horrible.
That they are. Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in and listening for this tavern. Thank you so much for giving up some of your time to come over here and talk about Darkhounds with us. Once again, tell everybody where they can find you and the stuff that you got going on, and if you got anything like coming up that you want to, plug or whatever.
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm just adding WHs to everything now because it sounds
You're welcome.
cool. We will be doing a catch up Wheel and Chill show on Thursday night this week. Myself and Winespring. We're gonna be just covering all the Wheel of Time stuff that's come out recently. We've been kind of on a break ourselves with the holidays and just other stuff came up. And then I believe next Monday we are doing the Nights Who Say Chill D&D campaign. And then after that, I'm not really 100% on what the hell's going on. But that's the immediate future. Drunken Spelling Bee is on the back burner for a while. To be honest with you, I'm kind of pretty full with stuff. I'm busy with a lot of stuff, and yeah, I mean, eventually it'll come back out, but I just don't know when.
Gotcha, man. Well, y'all, if you haven't already, make sure to go and follow Tavern everywhere you can. There's a bunch of links in the description or show notes down below. Go and make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel if you want to catch episodes right now coming forward for Wheel and Chill. They're a lot of fun. I'm not just saying that because they've made the mistake. I mean, they've had me on a couple times.
Listen,
it's a lot of fun to watch.
Best episode ever.
So
don't mind me. I say that to everybody.
I believe it. So go and check out everything Tavern does. Tell him Black Tower sent you, or that you saw him here or found him here or whatever the case is. But we will see you again next week. Next week, we're going to be joined by another guest. This one from across the pond.
El Huevo Loco. No, wait, that's not right.
He's a man that talks to Malkir itself. Their best chef, their sexiest chef, and their third best swordsman. We're going to be talking about the talents of the Forsaken, both capital and lowercase t. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But for all of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, I have been your Bajan Mahale. I lead the battles. My name is Andrew. And I've been joined by...
Every time I tried to start, you had just enough pause. I'm Josh. Sword Mahale, lightning, yada yada, kill. Boom. Thanks for joining in and listening and receiving this week's dose of taint. We hope wherever you are, you leave here just a little bit more insane than you were when you first got here. From all of us here at the Black Tower.
You've been waiting for this moment, for this feeling to grow. In the shadows, always watching, always running the show. In the tower, you can bring your pain. In the tower, you can feel the strain. You've been having so much trouble